Hey guys, it's Kyle. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to go over 5 things that I think you should be spending your money on investing in 2021. So if that sounds like a good idea, drop me one of these, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get into it. Number 1, gold and silver. So gold and silver has always been a hedge against inflation. And I think you should be buying gold and silver right now. More towards silver, to be honest. I think silver is a safer market. Gold kind of tends to limit your market, at least in my experience. Not everyone has 1,000, 14, 1,500, whatever to spend on an ounce of gold, but a lot of people can spend south of $50 on an ounce of silver. So it opens your market up a little bit more. Gold and silver, again, has always been a hedge against inflation. And one of the interesting things that I have found is depending on how strong the economy is depending on the price of gold and silver. So without getting overly political, from 2016 to 2020, we saw silver really at a lower premium, under $30 for the majority of it. From 2008 to 2016, we saw it upwards of $50 an ounce at times. So in my opinion, I think after 2020, we are going to see silver and gold spike up again, possibly hitting $40, $50, maybe even going more. So in my opinion, I think you should be buying gold and silver now, and I think you should be holding on to it. And once it hits $40 to $50, sell it. Or maybe it'll go higher. Who knows? But I do think it's a good investment. Number 2 is something that I have been told by numerous people, and I am currently looking into investing in myself. I do not currently invest in it, but it's something that's piqued my interest quite a bit, and that's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Now, I'm just mentioning this. I invite anyone who's considering investing in it to check out other videos online, read articles. I am not educated on the subject, therefore I am not going to provide you with a bunch of information that I do not have. However, it's something I am personally looking into, and it's something that I've been told you should be looking into. I've been told that by 2028, a single coin could be worth millions of dollars. I don't know if that's true, that no one really knows if that's true, but there are people who believe in that, and there are people who have gotten extraordinarily wealthy investing in cryptocurrency. Again, nothing that I have a realm of knowledge of, and maybe as I learn more, I'll give you guys some more information on it, because I think it's interesting. But yeah, so I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is another thing to look at. Number 3 is the collectibles industry. Now, I'm a little biased on this because I deal pretty heavily in the collectibles industry. But to explain myself on that, collectibles are something people buy when they have disposable income. They're a luxury. They're not something people are looking for when the economy's bad. So right now, with COVID and everything going on, our economy is going to need some time to recover. But where I would say is a smart investment, if you have money stored away, is to be buying these items. Rolexes, fashion, or fine jewelry, anything that can be from a collector standpoint. I deal a lot in antiques. You can do fine art, anything like that, because these are the things right now that people are going to be looking to get rid of because they're unnecessary expenses. However, when the economy is going fantastic, people are always looking to get these, and since there's such a demand, it's hard to find these. Right now, the available stock for collectibles is pretty wide open. So if you have a little bit of money stashed away, you should be, in my opinion, buying some of these and storing them away for a better economy. Once the economy reaches, you'll have no issue selling them, and you'll be flipping the script because a lot of people won't have access to the cool stuff you can get now. Now, that being said, collectibles generally don't increase in value significantly within short term. There are exceptions, but generally speaking, you're working on a flipping business. So I don't want to throw numbers, as far as a percentage you should be paying, but you shouldn't ever buy any collectible unless you're buying it absolutely right. And, don't, if you come across, for instance, a painting that's worth $5,000, don't spend $5,000 on it and hope that next year it's going to be worth $6,000. That may or may not be the case. But if you can buy that same painting for $5,000 for $2,500 and store it when the market's better and the market can bear it, you'll probably be able to sell it extraordinarily quick for that $5,000. So I think collectibles are always a good market to be in. You should, if you're interested in learning about collectibles, I plan on dropping more videos about them. I think it's a fun, interesting thing to do. So moving on, number 4, again, is something I am not extremely knowledgeable in. However, I do live in Maine. So It's an industry that I see growing extraordinarily well. It does require some licensing and thorough amounts of research, but it's a trending industry, and I think if you have the means and your state allows it, or if your state's going to allow it soon, you should jump on the bandwagon and be involved in the cannabis industry. Regardless of my political opinions on it, it is a booming industry. It's a highly taxable industry, and I think that it is going to continue to, stumble over my words. It's going to continue to grow as an industry. And obviously, whether you're using it for recreational or medicinal purposes, there is always a market for it. I think despite the numerous amounts of businesses in the industry opening up now, you are going to still see plenty of demand for the product. And this could be anything, whether you're growing, whether you're distributing products, whatever you're doing. I think it's an interesting industry. I think it's a very profitable industry. I have friends who are involved in the industry, and they have become independently wealthy. If it's something you're enthusiastic about, I think it's something to definitely look into. I, again, am personally not involved in the cannabis industry. I have considered it on numerous occasions, but it's not something I do currently. So, but I do see it as an open opportunity, and in my opinion, if your state laws allow it, I think it's a great industry to be in. And number 5, and this one you're going to call me absolutely crazy for, but hear me out. Number 5, if you have money stored away, and spoiler alert, you should never open a business if you don't have money stored away to float the business. I think now is the ideal time to get involved in the startup of your dream business. Now, you might be thinking, Kyle, you're absolutely freaking insane. Businesses are closing. It's COVID. What the hell are you thinking telling me to open a business? Now, you're right, but you're also wrong. Now more than ever, due to the effects of COVID, we're seeing record numbers of businesses close. This is making the commercial space market, or at least in my area, absolutely crazy. There are prime real estate buildings available for rent at lower rates in areas that you're lucky to find real estate, let alone at decent fair market rates. So what does this mean for you? If you have the money to float a business for the next 3 to 5 years, which honestly, if you're looking to open a business, you should anyways, you have the potential to get into a building in a great location, in a prime location, at a lower rate than you normally would be able to. And landlords are obviously desperate for tenants at this time. You have really the high ground to negotiate a fantastic lease with fantastic benefits and getting into a building that would probably normally cost you significantly more. So you might not have to settle for the building you can afford if you open a business now. Now, I'm not saying you're going to open a business and become successful within a few years, which I would never say that anyways. Most businesses are not overnight successes. But you do stand a good chance at being involved and actively involved. And this is a quiet time to build it up. A lot of the times, and I can't say this because I have not opened any businesses, a lot of the, during COVID, other than a restaurant, which will be another story of things you should never do. Anyways, when you open a business, normally there's a new excitement. With the fear of going out being so drastic lately, in my opinion, I think people are going to be less driven to go out to a business. This is going to give you a smaller clientele at the beginning, which is going to give you a time to perfect your craft, which is not something you typically have as a beginning entrepreneur. Usually you have to nail first impressions. This time it's going to be a little bit easier to nail first impressions because it's a smaller crowd. I think that it gives you the ability for the first time in a long time to be able to take your time and do a business correctly versus just sitting down and grinding it out. Now, I will say, again, you are going to lose money for the first. You are not going to have the clientele that you would normally have, regardless of what business you have. But you'll be able to get into a prime location, lock in a cheaper price potentially, and potentially have time to build a business. I could get into a little bit more detail into what it takes to open a business, maybe another video. But in my opinion, to open a business right now isn't necessarily as crazy as it sounds, because you have the ability to take it a little bit slower. Now, you are learning on your feet, and there are precautions that we have to take now that we've never been never had to take before. So it is a weird, unique time to run a business. But I will also say, if you can survive running a business now, you can survive running a business anytime, ever. So that's my list. Again, feel free to like, comment, disagree, subscribe, hit the bells. I do believe, and I'm curious what you guys think about the whole business thing. Talk to me about that, because it's my personal opinion, and I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I like to believe it rarely happens, but it happens a lot. I just believe that it's not the worst time to open a business if you have been able to accrue enough money to float yourself through it. Now, I wouldn't recommend opening a business as a surefire way of making money, especially right now. It would be a long-term investment for yourself. If you're looking for more short-term rewards, I would look more into the gold and silver and the Bitcoin we talked about at the beginning of the video. But if you're looking for more long-term, I think the opening a business, and it could be anything. It could be collectibles, it could be cannabis, it could be whatever you like to do. At the end of the day, if you're going to open a business, it should be something that you're passionate about, something that you're good at. Because if you bust your butt and you enjoy what you do, you never worked a day in your life. And when you become independently wealthy and independently happy, that's the recipe for a perfect life, regardless of what's going on in the world. Keep a head up, guys. And if you like this list, comment down below. Tell us you like it. Like, subscribe, all that other stuff that I've said 52 times. I just want to make sure you guys remember to. Take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one.